Hello, my name is Mark Letourneau, and I would like to continue the argument regarding the idea that God does not exist. On the first video, I have shown that the universe is infinite in space and in time, and as such, it cannot have a beginning. Because if the universe, defined as everything which exists, would have a beginning, you would have to have nothing before. And the problem with that is when there is nothing, it's forever. You cannot have anything that can happen when you have nothing, absolutely nothing. So it's a paradox, and that's why they cannot have a beginning, and that's why God cannot exist. So you have either nothing forever or everything forever without a beginning. And also, what is this concept of God? I mean, if he would exist, he would be made of a substance, else he would be made of nothing, and we wouldn't be talking about it. So, because something made of nothing doesn't make sense. So he would have to be made of a substance that he couldn't create, because he wouldn't be there to create it. He couldn't create the substance that created him, So, so that doesn't make sense at all. It is an illogical, vicious circle. But let's try to understand why there is something forever rather than nothing forever. I'm going to split the board in two. And here I'm going to have I'm going to call it a thing. Things in the universe. And nothing. This is equivalent to say to be or not to be, because nothing means not to be. It means which does not exist, and this things means what exists. It's to be, and a tautology. There is a Greek philosopher that is using a tautology to explain that. Is saying to be is, and not to be is not. And this is, this shows clearly that things have to be. And nothing cannot exist because it means which does not exist. It is not. So it cannot be because you would contradict yourself. What it means is that the universe exists through the things that are part, that is making it. There is what exists is creating the universe. This is a little nuance. It's not objects inside emptiness. It is the objects themselves that are creating the universe. And this imposes infinity. Why? Because another synonymous of this is that nothing is void or absolute emptiness or immaterial. And God. So you can put all of those concepts together. The colon cannot exist. And this colon has to exist. It has to exist per definition. And that's why we have a universe. And that's why the question of saying why there is nothing instead of something, it's obvious here. Something has to exist. And I bet it makes sense to me that this something makes up the universe, I would mean, is moving in only one way. I mean, there is one way the universe has to be. And that's what we are trying to find out with our scientific experiment and theorization and our theories. We're trying to find out the way the universe is. And that's the way to go. Trying to understand things instead of using words that don't mean anything, like God. Of course, we're going to build theories that maybe are going to be wrong, and we're going to replace them by better theories. And this is also giving direction where to go. So that's why here it imposes infinity, because since void cannot exist, so there is a substance between the protons and the electrons, and between planets, and you can call it whatever you want, dark matter or subquantic matter, but there are matters everywhere. But it's not matter as we know it. It's an infinite matter. It's made of layers, smaller and smaller, of matters that go all the way down into the infinity small and all the way up into the infinity large. So it's a different concept. It's a new definition of matter, and it's everywhere. It fills out every places in the universe. This concept of infinity is very spiritual, feeling infinity, understand it. It's a spirituality by itself. It's so huge. When you feel infinity, you cannot make war between each other, because it becomes so insignificant, the reason why we fight, when we consider infinity. So people should go towards that. If we would consider, if we would teach infinity to people, they would relativize their problems to it, and people wouldn't feel submerged by their problem. They would really envision the real size of their problems. And that's why realizing infinity is very important for mankind. Have a great day.